What's good, everybody? It is your boy Tony the Savant back again. Hope everybody's having a good to great day, man. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on when you're pulling up to the video. Shout out to the Legacy Over Money and LOM Sports Network. Got some sports gear dropping soon. Also, the network will be, we'll talk about that a little, real soon down the line. All right, y'all, let's get right into the video. Why don't we? We're talking about Chris Broussard of The Odd Couple of Fox Sports 1. Used to be an ESPN analyst a little while back ago. And how I best know Chris Broussard as one of LeBron James's biggest detractors. I wouldn't say Chris Broussard comes off as a bronzexual. You know what I mean? Bronzexuals are those dudes that say LeBron James is the best ever, the GOAT or whatever, and can't explain it. Chris Broussard is more so of a LeBron cap artist, where he'll say LeBron is the second best player for some random reasons, and he'll acknowledge that Michael Jordan is the universal GOAT. In fact, now that I think about it, Chris Broussard really falls in the same lane as Stephen A. Smith with me, where, I don't know if y'all know my famous tagline about Stephen A. Once upon a time when I, first started this sports journalism career, I used to say that Stephen A. Smith was a guy that I either 100% agree with or 1,000% disagree with. That's kind of changed over time because Stephen A. Smith has taken a different route, but Chris Broussard is still a little bit more in that class of, I'll say Chris Broussard is a guy that I usually agree with 60-40. 60% of the time I agree with him, 40% of the time I don't. Well, the point of the matter is that Chris Broussard over the years has been one of LeBron James's biggest detractors. We talking about since he was on ESPN. I remember some segments where, they used to get on LeBron James before he even won his first ring. They used to get on to him, and here come old Chris Broussard, old Brew, coming out of nowhere, defending LeBron James, making excuses after excuses. And this is before the man won a championship. But that's my history with Chris Broussard. Well, Chris Broussard shocks the world. And shout out to him again. Like, I don't mind this when these LeBron James cheerleaders actually check LeBron. Because it comes to a point where, you can only make so many excuses for this dude before you have to point at least one finger at him. And Chris Broussard is at that point. And what I also noticed is that there's a lot of infighting amongst the LeBron James community right now. A lot of these dudes, are coming to the realization that, LeBron James is 39, doing things we never seen before, but he doesn't play defense, and he's just a liability for the Lakers. You would have to be a blind individual, literally legally blind, to not see what the problem is with the Los Angeles Lakers. And then, of course, there's those other dudes on the other side of the LeBron James community that just feel like he can do no wrong. These are the same dudes that's clamoring for Darvin Ham to be terminated as the head coach of the Los Angeles Lakers when just 4 or 5 weeks, 6 weeks ago, they was cool with Darvin Ham when they was winning their little in-season tournament. It was cool with Darvin Ham when he got them to the Western Conference Finals. But now all of a sudden Darvin Ham can't coach anymore. That's the other half of the LeBron James community. You know how they get down. But anyway, there's some infighting going on amongst the bronzexuals right now because a lot of people are going at Chris Broussard for what he said because Chris Broussard actually checked LeBron James, about all of this, these Darvin Ham rumors, Darvin Ham's job being on the line. I made a video about that. And Chris Broussard is just like, hey, man, you know what I mean? When are we going to tell the players to look in the mirror? And he was kind of talking to LeBron James, but, he wasn't he said LeBron James' name at least 2 or 3 times, but he was doing his best to make it seem like he was talking to all of the Lakers. You know what I mean? One of those. I'm gonna tell this to everybody, but this message is really for that one person. So he was aiming at all of the Lakers, but LeBron James needs to step up. If this dude want to stick around the NBA, he wants to be acknowledged as the best player in the league or whatever. You want all of these accolades and all these praise with and Chris Broussard is at this point. I've been saying this. If you want all of this stuff, man, then you gotta show for it. You know what I mean? If you want to be the GOAT, you gotta be the GOAT as long as you playing. And what I don't like about the LeBron James fans is if he does something amazing, they say, "Oh, look what he's doing at 39." And if he does something and he don't look so good, or he getting dunked on, or he getting crossed up, or whatever, he ain't sticking no defense, they'll use the exact same excuse. They'll say, "Oh, he's 39," and it just don't work that way. You know what I mean? To LeBron James fans only, that kind of thinking works. But to the rest of us, we all understand that. Look, LeBron James is over the hill, and LeBron is part of the last generation. You know what I mean? All his peers, with the exception of Chris Paul, all his peers are retired. They've been retired for years now, almost. Most of them. And he's just sticking around, being a sore thumb on the court, because, like I say, if you got to be blind or not looking at the TV screen to not see that LeBron James is clearly the problem. Not maybe, not, we're suspecting. No, he's clearly the problem. He does not stick defense. He takes so many plays off. LeBron James is only effective, and if you're watching the basketball game, you would notice he's only effective in transition. He runs in spurts. You know what I mean? Like when it's time to get on the fast break, go bulldozing down the lane. Yeah, that's when Bron shows up. But any other points of the game, he just watching. He's just watching everybody else on his team play, or he's not playing defense, or he's just standing around with the best seats in the stadium. You know what I mean? LeBron James will watch the game from the 3-point line, as long as if the ball ain't in his hands. So, but shout out to Chris Broussard, like I say, to actually hear him check LeBron and call him out on this nonsense. It's a breath of fresh air. We gave Shannon Sharp his credit a couple weeks ago when he did this as well. Shannon is back to his regular schedule capping for LeBron James. Shout out to Cat Williams for even saying that he said something crazy dope. You know what I mean? If you really think about it, like, you got an unnatural allegiance to losers. That's not like you. You know what I mean? We all know who he was talking about. He was referencing probably some comedians or something, but we know what he was talking about. We know what Shannon Sharp is famous for. Everybody done seen the memes and the goat heads and the LeBron James jerseys and all that stuff. So shout out to Chris Broussard, like I say, providing us some checks and balances in the La media. You know what I mean? Not often we hear these fools put a like I say, check LeBron James. Let's call it what it is. Make it simple. Not too often we see these LeBron James supporters actually check him. So shout out to Chris Broussard. But that's all I got for y'all on this one. Please like, subscribe, comment, hit the notification bell so you can be notified when I'm dropping content on the channel, man. I thank y'all for the love and support. My slogan, y'all the bosses. I'm the guy that loves to work. I'm about to get back to work. Peace.